So when I first took this office as the Macomb County Public Works Commissioner, I was always reminded that all the years I was growing up here in Macomb County, this job was called the Drain Commissioner. And even though they've changed the title after the charter passed here in Macomb County, I still think of myself as a Drain Commissioner and keep telling my staff, we are in the drain business. So this is a drain map. And here's the beauty of this map. You might find this hard to believe, but just 2 years ago, when I got this job, I said, how many drains are there in Macomb County? People said, well, there's 900. Well, there might be 800. Maybe there's 700. Nobody even knew how many drains we actually had in Macomb County. So we contracted for an engineering consultant to come in. We scoured all of the files that we could find here at the Public Works office, down in the basements, putting everything together and working together. What we found actually is we don't have 900 drains. We have 475 drains, which is still a lot of drains. But in order to do a proper comprehensive drain maintenance program, seems to me that you ought to know how many drains you have just to start. So that's been a foundation here. This map is a foundation for what is already begun under this administration to start cleaning out these drains and to do drain maintenance. And 475 drains interpolates to 732 miles of drains, some enclosed, some is open. And so we have a very comprehensive drain maintenance program that we've begun. We've made huge headway. People have said, you know, these drains haven't been cleaned out in 40 or 50 years, maybe ever, right? And so we're working with all of the various communities. We have a great drain program, which the Macomb County Board of Commissioners has helped us fund. It's a 50-50 match. So I've gone out to, you know, all the different townships and the cities, the municipalities, and said, look, we've got this match program. We don't have enough money to clean out every drain that you want us to clean out. If you could do 50% match from your community, we'll put in the other 50%. We could really make the dollars go. I mean, we're all serving the same constituency. And boy, I'll tell you what, we've been running through that money like crazy because there's so much pent-up demand. And all the local elected officials in the county have been very forthcoming, all the boards. Our big problem is we don't have enough money because we run through it so fast, but nice problem to have because we made a lot of good headway. But at any rate, one of the other things, you're looking at this big map here, but if you just want to go to the Macomb County Public Works office website, we now have this up on our webpage, which, by the way, we are completely redoing our webpage, so we're trying to put up information that's really of value to people. And so certainly having a drain map of the whole county is important. But then, you know, if you live in Chesterfield Township, or you live in Macomb Township, or you live in Armada, or you live in Clinton Township, or Harrison, or, you know, Warren, wherever you live, you ought to be able to then say, well, I don't really care about the drain up here in Ray Township because I need to know what is my drain here in Sterling Heights. So what we've done is we've broken up this drain map on our website as well. So wherever you're at, you can see that municipality within Macomb County, every one of the communities now. Not only do we have the whole map, within each community we have a map about the drains that are there, and we've worked very closely with all of the municipalities. And I know this seems almost ridiculous to tell you we didn't know how many drains there were, but many things I have found about this job in the last 2 years have been sort of startling to me. But at any rate, we need to know what we have jurisdiction over, and then we've been making, as I say, a very comprehensive plan to maintain and to improve all the drains that we have jurisdiction over. So again, we've done a lot of inspection of drains. Many people have heard me talk about some of the drains that we've got some old, huge drains. I'm talking 11, 12, 13-foot diameter drains, storm drains, that were put in back in the early 60s in the city of East Point, running down Stevens, runs right down it from East Point, goes into St. Clair Shores, and ends up discharging out at one of the marinas right down by Blossom Heath. There's a great big old storm drain from the 60s that was put in and never was inspected. And as we inspected it, what did we find? We found there was an entire apartment complex that over 30 years ago, maybe 33, 35 years ago, whoever was the contractor back then actually hooked their stormwater into their sanitary sewage into our stormwater, storm drain. And so for over 30 years, 3 decades, this particular apartment complex, their sanitary sewer their sewage is going, the raw sewage is going right out into Lake St. Clair. So we found it and we fixed it. And I will just tell you, the people that live in the apartment complex were as horrified as we were. Obviously, none of us were around back in the day when that happened. But this is the kinds of things you find when you do proper inspections. We did inspections on 8 or 9 major storm drains. These are enclosed storm drains, all much smaller than what I was just talking about. But storm drains in Sterling Heights on the main corridors, Van Dyke, Mound, Dodge Park, Shaner, etc. We're looking for the what is the quality of the pipe right now, if there's been any degradation, if there's siltation in the pipe, and you know, what kind of conditions they're in. At the same time we're doing all of these various inspections, we are also doing what we call IDEP. And what that means is we're looking to see if there's any kind of illicit contaminations in there. You know, like I say, sanitary sewage or what have you. Sometimes you get what we call a hot spot. We get a hit on something and we think, oh, it might be E. coli, could be human. Many times in some of these smaller storm drains, of course, what we find is there's a family of raccoons in there or something. But we're checking, you know, we're checking everything, because all of this eventually is going out into the lake. It's all going to go out into Lake St. Clair. And so we are all hands on deck. I'm an old sailor here, so all hands on deck. All of us have to be very concerned about what the quality is and what happens when it goes into the lake. And of course, as you get into the northern part, you see these large open storm drains that run through people's backyards and run along the roadways, etc. And it's important that we have good maintenance on those, because all of these drains are draining the roads, right? You need to make sure you stabilize the road bed, not that it's all being flooded out all the time. Or up in the subdivisions, if the storm drains are backing up, it's because what's under there is all clogged up, has to be maintained. So this might not be the, an issue that everybody thinks about. Why? Because it's sort of out of sight, and so therefore it's out of mind. But really it shouldn't be. We have to make sure that we do maintain what we have. At any rate, I wanted to have a little video here today for our people that follow us on these videos, and you can see this Macomb County drain map. We're very, very proud of it. Might seem like a small thing to some, but for us, it's big news here at our Macomb County Public Works Office. So appreciate you all joining us today to hear about our new drain map. Thanks.